Hey there everybody, it's RevKev here. Hope you're having an amazing day. So welcome to part 2 of my top 11 Star Wars movie countdown. In the previous video, I shared with you my number 6 to number 11 Star Wars movies. Yes, 11 because I included the animated Clone Wars movie. And so for that first video, you can find it right here. I'm going to try to post a link to it. I've never done this before on YouTube. I think there'll be a link right above me here for that. Or you can find it in the in the description below. Not the comments, that's where you participate. I put it in the description, but anyways. So today what I'm going to do is I got my trusty little notebook here, and I'm going to go through the top 5 Star Wars movies for me. And again, what I've done in putting this list together is I have been rewatching the Star Wars movies over the past year, and I am rewatching them through the lens of today. Not my nostalgia lens. I have been a Star Wars fan since 1977. I was 6 years old, saw Star Wars with my dad, and it just changed my life. Everything became about Star Wars after that at 6 years old. So I'm now putting this list together through that nostalgia lens, but rewatching it. How do these movies stack up, and what is their watchability today? Character development, story that makes sense, entertainment, can grip you, can bring you into the story. That's what I'm looking at. So, previous video, 6 to 11. Today, we're gonna work from the bottom up. We're gonna start with number 5. So coming in at number 5 is the first installment of the Disney Star Wars era, The Force Awakens. I actually really loved The Force Awakens when it first came out, and watching it still today, it holds up. It holds my attention. Now, because The Last Jedi, as in my previous video I shared, is my least favorite Star Wars movie out of all of them, it does warp my rewatching of The Force Awakens significantly, so I try to ignore that. The Force Awakens is still a very enjoyable movie. Loved Finn, loved Rey, loved Kylo Ren, loved everywhere it was going. Had some big plot holes for me, like where did the First Order come from, but I assumed that was going to get dealt with later on. Snoke, where did he come from? I assumed that was going to be explained later on. But for me, Force Awakens is a great movie, a lot of fun, stands on its own for me at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is the movie that started the whole thing about Star Wars in our culture today, is the very first one, A New Hope. Again, was life-changing for me as a kid, but again, watch it through my adult lens today. I'm 48 years old, married for 20 years, 2 teenage kids. I put in the Blu-ray of A New Hope. It's a great 2 hours. Still holds up. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO, Darth Vader, Ben Kenobi, Governor Tarkin. All great characters. Great humor, which isn't forced. It just flows naturally. The tension is still there. The big call that the rebellion has to try to destroy the Death Star, and the tension there. Beautiful film, well filmed. Even the special edition, I don't mind. Would love to get my hands on one of the original ones one day, but that's the nostalgia part. So anyways, number 4, A New Hope. Coming in at number 3, again, if I was doing this through nostalgia, this would be number 1. But doing this through the rewatching of today, my number 3 movie is The Empire Strikes Back. Again, oh my goodness, it's just... Empire Strikes Back is such a great movie, right? The Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker battle, the tension that Luke has of training to become a Jedi. What a novel idea, having to train to become a Jedi, right? Yoda, Lando Calrissian, Boba Fett, so many great things, beautiful sets, Cloud City, Dagobah, just such great diversity. It's a beautiful film to still watch. The music is probably some of the best music in all of the Star Wars. The Imperial March is probably my number 1 song. Number 2, probably Duel of the Fates from episode 1. That might be a good video to make another time, to do a countdown video of my favorite Star Wars songs. Write that in my notebook. Okay, so number 3, Empire Strikes Back. Getting near the top here, and if you're keeping track, there's only 2 movies left. So number 2 for me is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I know, right? A prequel movie right there at the top. Number 2, Revenge of the Sith is so rewatchable today. It's a great movie. Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi in that movie is like Academy Award quality acting, especially when you think about that he had no environment to work around. Like everything was green screen back in those prequel days, right? All the characters he had to work up against, all green screen. And Ewan McGregor, man, is just an incredible actor, and he pulls it off. His Obi-Wan Kenobi in episode 3 was great. Hayden Christensen did a great job in episode 3 compared to what he did in episode 2. He really grew into the character, really made it his own. The tension was there. You know, he was much better in the romance and in the love scenes. And now, the turn to the dark side happened a little too quickly, you know, based on what you saw on the screen. But thankfully, things like the Clone Wars and stuff like that fleshed that out. But just as a standalone movie, man, the tension, the brotherly love between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and that being destroyed, and that closing scene where, man, Obi-Wan is like crying out, "You were my brother, Anakin, I loved you." You know, and Anakin on fire, "I hate you." It's like, oh, I got my hair standing up on my arms just thinking about that scene again. So, number 2, Revenge of the Sith. And finally, for me, in my top 11 Star Wars movies, coming in at number 1 is Return of the Jedi. Again, come to watch it again now. Brilliant movie, great movie. I know there's a lot of argument and debate that, oh, it was so commercial, it was just to sell toys. Put all that aside. Yes, Ewoks were cute and fuzzy, but you know what? They worked, right? And the concept of the Ewoks overthrowing the squadron of stormtroopers, for me, it worked. Because I just assume a whole bunch of stuff is happening off the screen, right? Because it was a PG movie. You gotta remember, it wasn't even PG-13. George Lucas was making this for kids, so it was PG. And you can't have these vicious little monsters, you know, devouring people, right? Which is why it's a great level to play in Battlefront 2 on your PS4. You know, hit me up if you have a PS4. My username is RevKev 43227. No. Anyway, I'll put it in the description below what my PS4 name is, and you can send me a friend request. But it was PG, so makes total sense for me these little savages would overthrow a military army, right? But again, the tension, Luke Skywalker, this is the story. Star Wars is, for me, and for George Lucas, has always been about the rise, the fall, and the redemption of Anakin Skywalker. That's what the story is about, right? And Return of the Jedi just ends that story so well with the battle between Luke and Vader, the battle within Vader himself, and just him turning from the dark side to the light to save his son from this ultimate Sith Lord, you know, Palpatine. Just fantastic. Again, the tension is great, the story is great, the humor is well placed. And you know, finishing off the stories of Han Solo was Jabba the Hutt, was so good. So for me, number 1 movie of all time in the Star Wars saga, as of today, is Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. So that's my list. Hope you've enjoyed this 2-part series. Would love to hear your comments. You can put those in the comment section below, and would love to interact with you that way. Thank you so much for being a part of this community where we are all about hashtag keeping Star Wars fun. And look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, notification bell to be a part of this community, and please, you know, share this on social media and get other people who are just, you know, want to talk, you know, fun stuff about Star Wars, whether it's movies, video games, music, all the fun things about Star Wars that are coming out these days. Would love for you to be a part of the community. So as always, I hope you have an awesome day today, and take care, and may the Force be with you.